Welcome back to Real Christianity with Rev Kev, as they say in our village. Yaki yaki. Recently, I had a wonderful discussion with an agnostic. His name is Eric. And I would say the discussion was okay. Eric was wonderful. He was asking questions he wanted to know. He nodded, he connected, and he would follow up with questions. I just wanted him to be my new best friend. It was just a great question. Wrestling with God's justice and why would God send his son? And some people might not hear. And he asked about some difficult passages in the Bible. And he was just listening, and he was really focusing on prayer, because as an agnostic, he wants to prove things. He says, how do we prove God? He said, maybe we can prove prayer. So he's really looking at what does that really look like? And I wasn't real excited about what he's studying, because prayer is just talking to God and getting on board with his plan and not moving some kind of object or proving that prayer works. We use that phrase, prayer changes things, and I would probably say, no, God changes things. Does he listen to us? Does he respond? Absolutely, he does. But Eric, as I was talking to him, he'd ask me a question, and I'd say, I don't know, or I don't understand that. Or he'd say, could God have done this in a different way? And I said, well, it sure seems to me he could have, but he's God. And he would say, well, how can you be so committed to something as a Christian and not have all this figured out? And I said, you know what? I've known God to be trustworthy in so much. I look at who Jesus was and what God has done and how he has reached out and pursued me. If there's something I don't understand, I expect there to be many things I don't understand. God is so much bigger and greater than us, and that's not a cop-out. I am finite, God is infinite. Can I know more than I know now? Absolutely. And I need to keep studying and growing and falling more in love with this God the more I learn about him. Will I always have questions? Will I always have things I don't understand? Absolutely. And that was Eric's problem, was how do you follow a faith wholeheartedly when you don't have all the answers? And I would say I think we do that a lot in life. We get married. We don't have all the answers about our spouse. We don't have all the answers about how we're going to respond. We move forward. So I think a lot of us, and Eric was a little bit surprised, I think, to hear the healthy skepticism in my voice. As I said, no, we need to be asking questions. And there will always be tough passages that somebody might explain, and I might not like that explanation. But I know there's a great, big, awesome God who loves me, and that's good enough for me. This has been Real Christianity with Rev Kev. Yaki yaki.